Hey guys, you are listening to the Sarah Sloan Show. You know what's up. Don't pretend you don't. Let's be safe here, but let's also not be dumb, all right? Oh man, so much to get into. Yeah, it was crazy. The inauguration, that's a hard word to say. Can I even say it? Do I know how to speak? I watched that. I watched Candace Owens' coverage of the inauguration. That was insane. She was so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, his speech was amazing. He really touched so many important topics. You know, one that's very controversial is immigration, and if you have birthright citizenship. So you're born in the U.S., you are automatically a citizen of the United States of America. That's pretty crazy. Is citizenship where you're born? Are those two things equal? I don't really think so. Man, if say your family goes on a vacation to France and you're pregnant and you have the baby there, that's a French citizen. I don't know. I don't think I really like it. I don't like the idea of that. So I like that Trump might be rescinding that. And then, I think he's going to be tackling, I hope literally tackling windmills. I don't like those either. Those are awful. Gosh, just today I was driving on a beautiful scenic route. I wasn't going on the major highways. And what obstructs the beautiful view? None other than windmills. I'm not a fan. Carrie Underwood also sang for the inauguration. It was crazy, though, because a lot of people were very upset with her for doing that. They could not believe that she would want to sing at such an important event. But I thought she did a great job. There were some technical difficulties. I'm an amazing singer. I can sing with my eyes opened or closed. So I think I probably could have done a little better than Carrie Underwood, but that's okay. I wasn't asked to sing. I would have sang something crazy. I don't know. Maybe something like a mix between Jesus Loves Me and, what else? All the Single Ladies by Beyonce. Just a mixture of those two things I think could do pretty well for me. And then it was inside because DC was so cold. It's been cold everywhere. It was even cold here in Austin. My work got canceled for a day. And I even tried to tell them, I was like, guys, there's no way that you're going to cancel work. And they did. They canceled it. And, the workaholic in me was like, oh, don't cancel work. I love working. That was a joke. I like a little relaxation. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah. It was inside. It was really awesome. And I'm just so optimistic for the future. I really feel like God is using Trump. And I'm really praying for him because last time when he was president, I made the fatal error of just, sadly, it's weird to say, but putting my trust in Trump. Ugh, it's gross. How about I put my trust in God to help Trump? That makes more sense. So that's what I'm going to be doing this time around. And Baron Trump. Man, he is so tall. I love a tall man. I'm actually okay with short men too. I don't know. I really, height doesn't matter to me too much. But yeah, Baron Trump. He is so tall. And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at his height.
Old son named Baron. Has anyone ever heard of him?
And then, man, just seeing Hillary there, and then seeing Bill there, and then Obama without Michelle or Michael. You choose the name you want to choose. I don't want to pick fights here. I'm not interested in picking fights. Oh, I'm hungry for a fight. And then, yeah, the Bidens were there. It was really cool. It was fun to watch. I don't think I've watched an entire inauguration in a while, but yeah, they did a great job of it. They should be proud of themselves. And yeah, there's just not much to say. Like, there is a lot to say, but there's not at the same time. I know what you're thinking. Sarah, what is this dumb shirt you're wearing? Guys, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. I know technically I'm dressed like what probably Ellen DeGeneres dressed like on her wedding day. I know that. But it's a nice shirt. It's comfortable. It's actually corduroy, if you can't tell. Sorry for audio listeners. I'm wearing a white corduroy buttoned-up shirt. Can you imagine if I was drinking a drink that is colored and I spilt it on this? Oh my gosh, that would be terrible. I would be so upset. I spill a lot. I really hate to admit that, but I spill so much more than I should. Yeah, I'm just so excited. Sorry, back to the Trump thing. I'm so excited with all that just because it's like, it's so much better that he had to deal with 4 years of Biden in between his first and his second term. I am so grateful that he got just 4 years to step away from it all. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm so happy about it. SEW. So. Okay, so this was crazy. I did want to talk about this. I got scammed, essentially. Not all the way, but pretty freaking close. So, you know, I'm an aspiring comedian, and I did get on Kill Tony, and people have been very nice to me and have been giving me, you know, opportunities for shows that I did not have before. And so, you know, I kind of want to seize on this while I have it because, you know, any bit of attention, like people lose their attention for you in seconds. And so you gotta seize. And I got this comment on a TikTok video of just like, hey, do you do any corporate gigs? You are so funny. Something along those lines. And I respond back and I'm just like, oh, I have not yet. I would love to. And then just like email me. And so I email this person. It looks like a very like attractive, blonde, skinny lady. And then I see like 3 videos on the TikTok and I was just like, okay, so yeah, cool. This seems like a trustworthy person. And so then I email, and I have it here. The name was Evelyn. I'm emailing you from TikTok. I would love to do a corporate event. That's what I say. Thank you. And then I get a response. I did notice there was nothing like, hey, Sarah, or anything, but it was just like, thank you for reaching out. Here are the event details. And so it gives a company's name called Nova Entertainment, and then an address in Kentucky, and then January 6, 2025 at 4:10 p.m. And then it's basically just saying that the event's an annual dinner party with staff and business partners. And then it's about 50 to 300 people. You can keep it clean, but I believe when you're on stage with your audience, you know what to deliver. And nothing like thank you, like salutations, sincerely, nothing like that. So then I respond, sadly, I'm booked on January 6th. That's my favorite day of the year because that's the day that I invaded the Capitol and did the dab on Nancy Pelosi's desk. So, you know, I really try to keep that day clear on my calendar. No, I'm kidding. I just had a little show. And I just said, yeah, I'm booked. I really do appreciate you offering me this opportunity. Immediately responds back, how about the 26th? And I'm like, whoa, I just kind of said like, no, I thought I just shut down this whole thing. Then I respond back and I stopped saying the hello name because I was just like, okay, apparently we're not doing this. We're just literally, it's like we're texting almost. And I was like, I was going to say that I'm free on the 26th, but I just realized you were in Kentucky. I'm in Texas. I'm not stupid. I knew that this person was in Kentucky, but I was just trying to see. I still believed it at the time that this was real. So I didn't want to completely give up on it. And yeah, I just said, I assumed you were in Texas. My apologies if I wasted your time. Thank you. And then they respond back, $1,000 is within our budget range. There are other entertainers in the house, and we're prepared to offer a competitive rate for your services. We understand that transportation and delay can be an issue, so we have arranged for a chauffeur service to pick you up at your preferred location and bring you to your hotel, and then to the event venue. So essentially, I would have to, and by the way, who would pay me $1,000? I am not worth that. Maybe one day, but not right now. But I started looking up flights to Kentucky because I believed this. I was an idiot at the time. And the flights were anywhere from like $370 to like $600 and something at the time. And so I'm like, dang, I'm not going to make like a ton of money on this thing. And then if there's a hotel, it's going to be anywhere from like $100 to $200. But, at least the chauffeur, that would help. Now I'm thinking back on it. I feel so dumb. And so then I respond back. I'm basically just thinking like, this isn't going to work. I can't do this. This is dumb. And so then I'm like, my apologies for the late response. I'll have to decline this offer for now. I'm expecting I got to be careful. I'm not going to say certain things just because I got to be careful. Skip. So I should be able to make these kind of bookings possible. If you have anything available for me later in the year, I would love to make it happen. Also, how much time, how many minutes is what I'm asking, would a potential set be? I was getting no clarification on that. And would I be the headliner, feature, or the opener? Thank you again. So you heard me. I asked all those questions. Then I get a response. Will you be available February 7th? Hey, sweetie, I just asked you. Am I headliner, feature, opener? How many minutes? You're not answering any of this stuff. Also, I said later. I said later in the year. I said that like twice. Later in the year probably means July 1st or after, not February 7th. Are you crazy? And then I was like, you know what? It's so obvious. At this point, I knew 100% this is a scam. And so then I decide, let's just lean into it and see what happens. And so then I say, that actually works for me. The flights are about $300. Would you be able to advance me the money for my flight? Thank you for the opportunity. And then I get a response. We would like to know if you would be comfortable receiving payment via a check. We understand that some comedians prefer other modes of payment, and we want to ensure that you are comfortable with our payment method. So I was just confused at that point because I'm thinking, check, okay, and then if I deposit it, well, I have to sign it. How do I get this check? Are you going to mail it to me then? Or I was so confused at that point. So then I respond, my bank only allows checks to be deposited if I have my signature on the back of the check. So this would not be able to work. Is there any other method? Basically, like, the only way I'm getting this check is if you mail it in time before the show or before I buy the flight, or if I'm there in person. So that's dumb. And then they respond, yes, you're meant to endorse the back of the check with your signature. I stopped responding at that point because it was just a waste of my time. And yeah, so I should have known from the beginning. First of all, the fact that they said that the event would be anywhere from 50 to 300 people, that's stupid. The other thing is, the time was just so incredibly specific. Why do I need to know that it's at 4:10? 4 o'clock is fine. Just say 4 o'clock. Then I looked up the company Nova Entertainment. I did not see any real website for them. I saw a couple of like social media pages, but it looked very fake to me. So that's weird if there's such a big company. And then I did look up the address of this entertainment center. I also then decided to call this entertainment center. And I reached, just an office admin. And I'm asking this person, hey, because they noticed they had said January 6th, and this date had already passed, and I was now thinking about this January 26th at the time. So the date had already passed, and I was just like, hey, did you have a show, a comedy show for Nova Entertainment on January 6th at 4:10? And then the lady responds, the only thing we had in our center was a spa expo that day. And then she proceeds to tell me that she receives calls from comedians like once a week about this kind of a thing. So, yeah. They were so smart. What they do is they flatter you. You're so funny. Would you want to do a corporate gig? And then you're just like, oh, they think I'm funny. So, yeah, you should say yes. But I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson that I'm not that good. So if anyone's offering me that kind of stuff, then I should know better. If you're an aspiring comedian or just anybody, just watch out is all I'm going to say. Just be careful because I don't want this to happen to you. I just want everyone to be safe and not sorry. All right. Okay, let's go into this now. Let's see how long this takes. The Brett Cooper drama has been so intense. For those that don't know who Brett Cooper is, I'll try to explain all that I can as if you've never heard this before. I don't want to assume people already know about this. I think that's a little bit unfair to do. Okay, so the Daily Wire is a conservative media company. You know, they have Ben Shapiro, they have all these kind of conservative voices. They do like a daily news show. And they've grown really popular. And so then they started having even movies and different projects like that. At one point, Candace Owens worked for them. And so then they started this show called The Comment Section. And it's supposed to be more of like a Gen Z type show where basically it's like a news topic and then they're showing, spicy comments, giving context to all these different topics. It's just a fun show. But it was like each episode could be like 10 minutes long. And they had this girl named Brett Cooper doing the show, hosting the show. In my mind, I didn't know that the show was just the comment section with her. It could be the comment section with anybody. So basically the fact that she's replaceable and that show will still stand versus their other shows, the Matt Walsh Show, the Michael Knowles Show, the Andrew Klavan Show, the Ben Shapiro Show. Those shows, they're not going to have someone replace Ben Shapiro and it still be called the Ben Shapiro Show. If anything were to happen to Ben Shapiro, that's so silly. Like, that's never going to happen, So Brett Cooper apparently had a contract with this show for 3 years. And then typically you renew this kind of a contract, you make a new deal, maybe there's more pay, who knows. She had done extremely well with this show for the past 3 years that she had it. There were like 4.5 million subscribers on YouTube. I think she was even getting higher views than Ben Shapiro. So she was doing so incredibly well. She was also doing some acting stuff for the Daily Wire because she is an actress at trade. She's just very good with all that. I remember seeing this show advertised and everything. I always follow with what the Daily Wire is doing. I will admit, I had a bit of a bias towards her. I was like, who's this younger than me girl doing this kind of a weird looking show that looks like like she's in her bedroom and all that. Although, what am I doing right now? But I was just like, who is this? This is weird. And I was like probably 2 years in, I decided, okay, let me just watch and see. And I fall in love with this girl. She's amazing. She's so funny. She's so dynamic. She really is able to tell a story so well and draw you in, and you feel informed after the fact. And so I was pretty much hooked. I was watching all of her episodes nonstop. I really, really liked everything she had to say for the most part. And so then, kind of at the tail end of her 3 years before the contract renewal, she has a producer named Reagan. And she starts filling in, quote unquote, for Brett Cooper. And it was like a Friday and stuff like that. And she's like, she'll be back on Monday. I'm just filling in.
Back to the comment section. I am producer Reagan.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I am filling in for Brett today and guest hosting the show. And don't worry, Brett will be back on Monday, but I am here today. And I'm normally the one sitting over there in the chair, but Bobby is filling in for me today. And I am sitting in this chair, bringing you some very interesting stories. I don't know about you all, but I am so sick and tired.
And so you're just like, okay, that's fine. A little weird. They've never done this before. She even had her show in I think it was Budapest or Hungary or something like that. And it was like, that's weird that she could be in another country and they never had someone fill in, but now they're having someone fill in. Well, maybe this show is so good now that they have to, they can't skip a day. I was like, I could get behind that. I understand. And also this is Reagan. And, Reagan is her maid of honor. It was her maid of honor for her wedding. They were best friends. So, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. And I remember watching Reagan for these episodes where she was filling in and just thinking, wow, for just being like a producer of Brett's show, she's like really good at this. Like she's not Brett, but oddly enough, like she's pretty dang close. And yeah, I didn't think anything of it, and I just kept on going on my way. And then there started to come out these rumors that Brett Cooper was quitting with the Daily Wire, that she was going to be replaced by this Reagan girl, that this Reagan girl had been taking acting classes to essentially be as close to Brett Cooper as she could be. Just all these things. And it was like, whoa, what the heck? And then people were saying, Brett, on your last day of your show, wear blue. If I think it was like if you were forced out, something like that. And so then on her last show, she's wearing blue. And she's like, not all the rumors are true. It was my choice to leave this show. Let's hear now from the God King. I may play a clip or something.
Heard the rumors online, and the rumors are mostly true. Today, December 10th, will be my last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I am being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And believe me, this is bittersweet today. But at this point in my life, I am ready to take on a new direction, both personally and professionally. This means new challenges and new endeavors, which I will share with you soon. As for this show, the comment section will continue with the Daily Wire. My producer, Reagan, is taking over as host of the comment section, and I wish her and the Daily Wire all the best. And now for some final thoughts from the God King himself, Jeremy Boring.
And then Jeremy Boring just gives some we're so excited to see what Brett Cooper does. And Reagan's going to be filling in.
Bittersweet indeed. We're sad to see Brett go, but we're excited to see her take the next step in her journey. Brett's an amazing talent, both as a personality and as an actress. It's been a pleasure to see her bring the comment section to life these last 3 years, and her performance in the Pendragon cycle is sensational. I'm certain that whatever Brett creates next will be filled with the same joy and laughter and heart that she's brought to all of her work at the Daily Wire. And we wish her nothing but the best.
For her, blah, blah, blah. And so then Brett does this amazing last episode. And during the last episode, you almost wonder if she's giving a kind of a hidden message behind what she's saying.
One person said, quote, "You are the company you keep has never been proven wrong yet." I mean, guys, on a smaller scale, let this be a lesson. You are a sum of the people that you surround yourself with. If you don't like the way that they make you feel, if you don't like what they drive you to do, if you don't like their behaviors, then remove yourself, choose to leave. That is what Jay-Z should have done. And
so it was super interesting. And then, yeah, Reagan replaces her. They don't change the set that much. Everything pretty much feels very similar. And yeah, you don't hear from Brett for a while. Brett makes a new YouTube channel. She still has yet to post a video on there. She unfollows Reagan on Instagram. And the next time you see Brett, you see her at TPUSA speaking. And then you feel like there's another hidden message about who your friends are and all that kind of stuff.
That I stood firm in my beliefs, that I was not bullied into silence, that I fought to make the world better, and that I did it joyfully, that I showed up on my show every single day joyfully because it mattered. As I navigate life, I have had to learn that individual friends come and go, politicians will come and go, people will disappoint you, and sometimes alliances shift. The figures that I once trusted might fall short. Everyone goes through this. It's not just me. So when the world feels uncertain, when people let you down, remember that it is not these fleeting moments or fleeting figures that define you. It is the legacy that you build through your actions, through your convictions, and through the love that you cultivate with those around you.
And it was just very odd. It was very strange. It was very strange that, okay, this show was a comment section. It's not Brett's show. Okay, I get it, totally. But the oddest part is, it's not normal to pick a producer to replace the star. I don't hear about that often. There's also a lot of female conservatives in the movement that are very eloquent, could do a show like this and could do super well. Brett was not the first choice for the comment section, from what I'm understanding. It was another girl who has her own YouTube channel now, and she's very good. So the whole thing was just very strange, and it almost felt like, is the Daily Wire trying to kind of like poke at Brett, trying to make her feel like bad and cause a rift in between them? And then as Reagan is continuing to have this show, people are unsubscribing from the channel, the comment section. The views are way down. The comments are pretty intense of just like hatred towards Reagan. And I wanted to watch Reagan. I wanted to see, okay, let's give her a chance. Let's be open-minded. And so I really was. I was open-minded, watching. And there was something about the way Brett would do her show, where even though it was like a 10-minute episode about a topic, she just had this amazing formula where it was like she'd kind of start intense and give an explanation and kind of like go to the sad stuff. And then at the end, she would give just like this vision of hope, this message of hope. And you just felt so like at peace and like happy in the world. And just like, yeah, this was a really sad episode, but I'm happy at the end because she kind of gave this perspective and stuff. And one of my favorite episodes of hers today is when she was talking about, essentially it was like that girls giving guys a green light is not them being the pursuer in the relationship. That's not them leading the relationship. And I know that's like a super like, duh, everybody knows that. But like, I am telling you, as a Christian female, I was not aware of that. I fully thought if I smiled, if I was talking to a guy, if I said that he was handsome or anything, that I was then leading the relationship, making all the first moves and everything. And I didn't realize that guys they need something. They need a smile. They need something to know that, okay, I can now proceed. Like, thank you. You gave me the green light, and now I am going to go, and I am going to lead the relationship now. And so she had a full episode about that, and it was just so inspiring, and really, it meant a lot to me. I've watched the episode a few times now. It meant that much to me. And so, yeah, that's like the perfect example, the encapsulation of what I thought of Brett Cooper. And as I'm watching Reagan, I'm telling you, it's not doing that at all. The topics, the choice of topics are very strange. And then also, she will go on rabbit trails. Now, that sounds hypocritical if you've ever watched any episode of mine. I almost feel like maybe I should rename this podcast Rabbit Trail because I am always going on tangents. But that is what I do. Also, I am not paid by the Daily Wire, nor will I probably ever be. Look at me. Look at this shirt. That's all you need to know. But she will go on tangents, and she will repeat herself so many times. And then you could tell they were trying to change things up. So they were having her, I guess, new producers now speaking behind the microphone to her. And you could barely hear these people. And it's like, and she's listening. And I don't know if she just doesn't know how to listen, but she's just like, the way she listens is so strange. Like, there's just listening, and then there's like, I don't know what she's doing, where she's just like.
Again, the human body is so freaking cool. I love this stuff.
What is crazy too is that when I was in that toxic relationship I was telling you about, I was so sick physically, and so I was getting blood work done. My inflammation markers were insane.
Yeah.
And now that, like, obviously I'm in a great relationship and I'm so happy, I got my blood work done again, and everything's perfect.
That's wild.
Which is insane, and I've been just flabbergasted over this.
Yeah.
Like, there's been no actual physical change in, like, my diet or anything else other than basically that.
Your body knows. That's so cool. It's like a protective mechanism in a way, you know? Like it's trying to repel the thing that is causing you harm.
Like that's a weird way to listen to someone. I don't know. I have to listen to people all the time that I don't want to listen to. I listen to people just ramble about the dumbest stuff. And I feel like I look even more sincere than her. And once again, I'm a nobody. So, and she was too before she made a big decision to say yes to the Daily Wire on taking this show. There was even more kind of behind the scenes information that came out about how this all came to be. At first Reagan was like, no, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to step in for Brett. And she was even like saying to Brett, yeah, let's leave, let's quit and all that. And then she tries it out and she's like, Brett, I tried to be just like you. And Brett was like, just be yourself, dude. And then Reagan realized, I love being on the camera. This is what I want to do. God called me to be on the camera. And so, yeah, then I guess she decided that this was the thing that she needed to do from here on out. And, you know, obviously, people shouldn't be too mean to her in the comments because at the end of the day, like, if we're claiming to be Christians, we need to be kind. But at the same time, you betrayed your friend. Your friend. You were saying one thing and you did another. You lied to them. And apparently she kept on asking everybody but Brett if she should take over the show. She was asking their advice and all that. Ask Brett. It's Brett's show. I think she was very manipulative. And she's not a genuine person. And it shows through on the camera. And that's why people aren't resonating with her. Also, it was kind of an impossible situation. Anybody that would have replaced Brett, I think, would have had a hard time. But they really didn't help their situation at all. And then some people are seeing a lot of positive comments and they're wondering if they're fake. And maybe they are. They really might be fake. The whole thing is so messed up. But also, it really kind of showed me, you know, if anything was to happen for me one day, maybe in comedy, and she had the choice, Reagan had the choice of sticking with her friend and being loyal, or going off and trying to pursue fame. And I think if she had really thought it through, she would have realized that people were going to be more on Brett's side, and she's on a losing team. Because with the views that they're continuing to have, I don't know how much longer they're going to have Reagan in this show, or in that slot. Maybe they'll just do it forever and they don't care that it's not doing okay. I'm not sure. But it's not a good look on the Daily Wire. And it's a bigger picture of this too. Yeah, you could listen to prior, it was episodes and episodes ago where I was talking about the conflict with Candace Owens. But I really do wonder if the Daily Wire is having some sort of an issue with females. And with this comment section, you know, they don't have a show for the men where the host could be so incredibly replaceable. But for the women they did, and it almost felt like, oh, Brett, you're trying to maybe get more money. I'm not sure what happened in the contract deals, but you're trying to get more money. We'll just replace you with another pretty face. What is the Daily Wire's view of women? And I love a lot of their shows, and I really love Michael Knowles' show. But even sometimes the way he talks about his wife, and it does feel a little bit like, my question would be, do you think men are better than women? And I'm not sure. And probably he would say no. He would probably just say the whole thing of like, we just have different roles. And I think that's fine. I completely understand. And I'm actually very traditional in my views. But I do feel just some of this men are superior to women thing from them. And I've continued to feel it. And it's actually kind of pushed me away from wanting to really listen to them as much as I used to. Because they're not superior. They're not. Like, yes, once again, like, for sure, they're stronger. Yeah. I think in a lot of ways, a lot of men are smarter and stuff like that. Like, I'm fully aware, like, we have different strengths, different weaknesses, but at the end of the day, God loves us all the same. And so, and once again, I don't like what's happening where women are being so mean to men and so nasty to men. There's got to be a middle ground here. And so it does worry me seeing the way that they've had this conflict with Candace Owens, and now they're having this conflict with Brett. Why are they so mean to the women? Why can't they end things in an amicable way is my question. And yeah, those are my thoughts for now. So we'll see what continues to happen with this saga, and I'm very excited to see what Brett starts up, because I think it's going to be good, whatever it is. And I think God really is using her to speak to maybe some people that wouldn't have ever thought they'd want to be conservatives. So yeah, those are my thoughts there on that. Okay, I did want to talk about this too. I have a kind of a guilty pleasure of watching certain shows on Netflix that are like real estate shows, if that makes any sense. So they're like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, what they do is they kind of focus in on a real estate team. And I've seen some in New York, and then some in like London, or just like the UK in general. And it's usually luxury real estate. And so they'll show the team. There's always a lead, and then there's, you know, the rest of the brokers, I guess. I don't know the right word for that. Sorry. I still don't know. I'm learning as I go. But there's some drama in between them. They're typically going to show you mansions and how much they cost, and the drama of just the getting that deal, or, hey, how come this agent is getting to sell this place and I'm not? I want the commission. Why do they get it? All this kind of stuff. So, some are just so intense and it's so fun. But I was watching one, and I think it's called Selling the City. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But one of them, her name is Jordyn Taylor Braff. And she's talking about why she moved to New York City in the first place. And it was for love, apparently. She met Trevor Noah, the comedian, I think on Twitter or something. And then they started dating. They dated from 2015 to 2018. And then she even talks about how he would steal her jokes because she was the funnier one in the relationship. And so I just thought that was super interesting, because as an aspiring comedian, I will admit there's some times where somebody is sharing something that's so funny where I'm like, oh, that would make a perfect joke. And like, I was just thinking about, is that okay? Like, is that okay to take it? And so she said that he would steal like from her. And you could tell she's a funny person on the show. You could tell she's very, very funny. And I personally don't find Trevor Noah to be funny at all. I think he's one of the most annoying late night hosts that there has ever been. Like, seriously, like ever. Like, he is so high up on my list on the least favorites. I was more okay with James Corden, oddly enough. James Corden I thought was fun because he was just trying to make things silly. But yeah, the anti-Trump jokes and all that, I did not enjoy that guy one bit. So, but at the same time, if you are constantly relying on your girlfriend in order to come up with material, are you a good comic? Are you? That's my question. For sure, you could take notes of inspiration and stuff, but, it's just not a good look. You should try. Comedy is very much like, you don't want to cheat, plagiarize, none of that. You don't want to take from other people. You need to think of this stuff yourself. So I just thought it was super funny that she pretty much outed him. But sadly, I think it will do nothing to affect him. Very, very sad indeed. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this too. This microphone you're looking at right now, this little baby microphone. Actually, it's pretty large. Yeah, it's a pretty freaking large microphone. Once again, is a scam. It is a scam. So let me explain. This is a Shure SM7B. That's probably the most famous, iconic microphone for podcasting. And it's because, I think partly because of the look, it's been around for decades. And a bunch of recording artists have used it. It is iconic. If you, like probably any podcast you've listened to, more likely than not, they use this microphone. Like seriously, it's a great microphone. And so it's had an issue where on eBay, if you buy it, it's probably a scam. It's probably a scam. You have to go to an authorized dealer in order to buy it. So I see one on eBay, supposedly new for like $125, and it's for a bid. And I'm driving in the car with my sister, and I'm just like, hey, did you know if you make a bid on something that you can retract that bid? And you're just like, you don't have to worry about it. I had this idea I got this idea from, it was something else where somebody bought something or they won the bid, and then I got a notification later, oh, this person did not follow through with payment, so you're the next person that can get this item. So in my mind, I was like, oh, so you don't really have to actually buy whatever you bid on. Like, so it doesn't really even matter. And so then I'm telling her that, and she's like, oh, really? I don't think you can do that. And I was like, watch. So I see this microphone, and it's got like 8 minutes left. In the final 3 minutes, nobody had bid on it. And so I was like, okay, let's just try it. So I bid on it. And then my sister was like talking about how she's had experiences where she would bid on items, and they would wait till the last microsecond in order to get the bid, and how people were just so good at that. And so she was like, yeah, someone else is going to win it for sure. And so we're watching, and then I win it. I win this microphone. And then just a pit falls to my stomach, and I'm just like, oh boy, what have I done? What have I done? And so then I was like, okay, maybe it's real. Maybe it's a real microphone. In my mind, I doubted it. They said a new one, and so it normally goes for $400, and so I paid $125 for it. So it comes in the mail, and the box and everything looks normal. Everything looks good. I will admit it smelled a little weird, and I didn't feel like it needed to smell that weird. And then I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about how you spot a real Shure SM7B from a fake one. And there's a bunch of little clues. And there's even stuff where you take apart the microphone to kind of see and all that. And so I didn't want to like totally take apart the microphone, because then I would totally have trouble putting it back together. But one of the biggest things for me was this wire right here. And it's supposed to be a very stiff wire, but this was just so loose. And then also it can come out very, very easily. And that should not be the case for something that is $400. Like, I'm looking at it right now. It's popped out. The little like seal on the little wire. I don't know how to explain it, but it's completely popped out. For something $400 that's brand spanking new? Yeah, no. This microphone is also very iconic because it has extremely good handling noise. And so a lot of people, they will just like rip this. You'll see it on the Joe Rogan podcast. They'll move the microphone and all that. You don't even hear it. It's like magic. Versus with other microphones, if I even touch it, you're hearing it. You're going to hear everything. So that's a huge advantage. So yeah, let me just like touch it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to touch in the front there. Let me touch the side. And I'm touching the foam here. I'm touching the body of the microphone right there. Yeah, let's be careful, but let me try. Okay, I did kind of move it back and forth a little bit. Let me touch the table. I'm touching the base of the mic stand, the arm of the mic stand. So yeah, so I don't know how much that picked up, or if it picked up anything at all. But yeah, it is a total scam. And the funniest part is, like, this probably doesn't sound terrible, but it doesn't sound as good as a normal Shure SM7B should sound. And so $125 is just too much for a fake, you know? It's just too much. The funniest part is, I don't know how much it costs for them to actually make this microphone, but they did a pretty dang good job of copying a real one. Like, they really did. I'm actually very impressed. I would say I'd probably be willing to spend like $50 on it if they had advertised it as, hey, this is just a copy of a Shure SM7B, it's not going to sound as good, but it sounds almost as good, and it looks just like it, so you get the effect, I probably would have actually gone for that. But I don't like to be lied to. And so whenever you say a Shure SM7B and it's new and all that, and you're lying, not cool. So I, put in a complaint with the eBay, and immediately the seller says I can refund it. And I feel like that's all I had to know. That's all I had to know. I wanted to at least do one podcast episode with the mic just because this is such a fun story, in my opinion. But yeah, and then I did want to shout out Bandrew. He does the channel Podcastage, and yeah, he is awesome. So he was helping me figure out if this is real or not and all that, and he's just been so kind, so cool. And yeah, he was just like, I have a feeling it's not real. Like, he was being so polite because he didn't want to like rain on my parade. But yeah, that was super, super kind of him. I don't have any power or like, I don't have millions of viewers, but if any of you guys are interested in audio gear at all, Podcastage is where you should go. And if you want to just see like a weird nerdy guy who's very funny, he has a Bandrew Says podcast as well. So I listen to his podcast every week. I love it. It's a huge highlight for me of the week. And then I love his microphone reviews. Like, they're just so iconic. I could go on and on. But yeah, nevertheless, I really thank him for helping me figure out that this was a fake. This was a nasty little fake. And then I even thought, should I just go ahead and buy a real one? And I was like, yeah, no, I don't feel like it. $400? No. Also, is it that cute that this wire sticks out like this? I don't think it's that cute. I don't really like that. Because if it's all about aesthetics and I'm not happy with a certain part of the aesthetics, then forget it. But yeah, you gotta be careful like nowadays. My gosh. It's scary out there. And yeah, eBay was like, if this person doesn't respond by this date, we will step in and help, kind of a thing. So yeah, in that way, eBay is cool, but still at the same time, don't make fakes of stuff. It's not that hard. Especially don't make a fake of me, please. Unless you want to. Okay, so let me talk about this too. This is a big topic, but it is very near and very dear to my heart. I have a very firm belief that guys and girls can't be friends. And I'm not going to say it's impossible. There's always an exception to pretty much any rule, almost. And I've had friends that are guys in the past, but for the most part, I don't think it's the case. I'm going to link a video in the description that really highlights this. I'd like to include a clip as well, because it's so good. It's so good at showing, like literally just in minutes, what they're thinking, guys and girls.
Do you believe that men and women can be just friends?
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I think it'd be hard to do.
Yes.
I mean, we're all men.
I know.
So, of course, we're going to have those feelings. And we can be content with just friendship, and we can be silent regarding those feelings, but we're going to have them.
Okay, do you have any guy friends right now who you're just friends with?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All my best friends are guys. Dave.
Trevor.
Taylor Mulford.
Bobby.
Yeah.
How long have you known Trevor?
2 years.
Of those guy friends, do you think any of them secretly like you? And be honest.
Probably, yeah.
Do you think that guy is interested in you?
Yes. Okay, maybe you can only be just friends in high school, because most guys won't just be my friend.
Would Dave hook up with you if you gave him the chance?
Well, yeah.
Do you think Trevor liked you?
Yes.
And
I know I did.
It's such a tough dynamic, but I had to realize it the hard way. Yeah, this is going to sound very hurtful. And like I said, there's exceptions to every rule, so please don't be mad at me. Guys don't see it as worth their time to have a girlfriend, a friend that is a girl. Typically speaking, they really only want that girl as a romantic potential. Guys will even put up with just hanging out with a girl they're attracted to, knowing that she'll never be with him, because they still have a grain of hope, the tiniest little sliver of hope, and they also like the feeling of walking around with someone attractive, because it's kind of like showing off to the other guys. Oh, you and her are hanging out a lot. Yeah, we're hanging out a lot. Yeah, probably something's going to happen. While in reality, she's not interested at all. It's super interesting. Girls can do it. They can be friends with guys. There are some guys that girls can't be friends with, for sure, because they are attracted to him and it's not really working. But there are many guys that girls are like, yeah, let's be friends. It's fun. But the guys really can't do it. And I've had it many times in my life where a guy I think is becoming my friend, and I'm like, oh, this is so fun. He's so nice. Oh my gosh. And then I realize he's actually just interested in me. And then I have to finally make it clear that it's not going to happen. And lo and behold, he's no longer wanting to be my friend. He's no longer interested in being my friend. And it's like magic how quickly they change. And they no longer want to talk to you. It's happened so many times. It's ridiculous to so many women all over the globe. So yeah, that is my firm belief. I just don't think it's possible. And then there's even been, there's some exceptions to the rule, like I said before. There's even been a couple of guys that I've been friends with that have girlfriends. And that kind of gives a layer of safety. It's like, okay, well, they're my friend and they have a girlfriend, so they're already good to go. And so we actually are just friends. But then you meet the girlfriend and you feel awkward. You do. Like, I've always felt awkward. Even if I'm not even attracted to the guy one tiny little bit. But I feel uncomfortable. Because I feel almost like I'm cheating. Like I'm like trying to steal her man or something like that. And I'm not, but it just feels uncomfortable. So yeah. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to write off every guy. I'm not going to be friends with any guy. But I'm telling you, it's so complicated. And then, yeah, how would I feel if I was dating a guy and then he had a bunch of girlfriends? I don't think I'd enjoy that. So, especially if he was kissing them. Oof, forget it. Forget that. No, I don't want that. Oh, this was funny too. I am, just any little updates to the channel. Such an important channel. I'm going to be coming out with some backpack reviews, just a few, not a bunch, but yeah, just a few. And so stay tuned for that if you like that kind of stuff. You may not. And then, I may just be doing more reviews in general because my thought is I have all this stuff, and then I think it's a great way to learn a different communication style. I am not used to doing reviews, video reviews, but I love watching them and consuming them, even if they are not professionally done. Sometimes I almost prefer watching video reviews of products that are so incredibly unprofessional. Just because it's like you're getting the raw and honest take. So I did do my first review. I did it of a coffee maker. And I felt like it went really badly, and it was really unprofessional. But it was kind of fun. I'm going to admit it. I did still enjoy it. I did do 2 takes because I just felt like the first one was terrible. And then I didn't have, you have to come in so prepared. I didn't have it was a coffee machine. I didn't have the correct paper filter. And it's amazing what a difference that can make whenever you have the wrong one. So I was not enjoying the machine. And then I buy the correct paper filters, and it's amazing how wonderful this machine is now, and I really enjoy it. So I feel bad about that because that's not on the review, and I should have been prepared and done that on the review. So yeah, video reviews are very fun, and I'm going to be doing more is my point. But yeah, then at the same time, it's so interesting too because it could be an item that you purchase with your own money. well then, yeah, for the most part, everyone's going to trust that. But there's been so many reviews that I've watched where it's like, dude, that's just a sponsored review. Like, you have to be nice because you want them to send you stuff in the future. And if you're mean, they're not going to send you any stuff in the future. So it's kind of like, it's unfair. If they send you free stuff, it's unfair. You just have to be honest, though, because if you're not an honest reviewer, then people are going to stop watching you. You won't get any more views, and that's just not going to work out for you anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much it, too. The LA fires have been absolutely insane in the membrane. I do think it's awful that pretty much it just seems like the government wasn't ready for what everybody could have predicted with just the way that there's no water in LA, the way that the embers can start additional fires and it just spreads everywhere. So many people lost their homes, so many people lost their possessions, and it was actually a good thought experiment for me too, of just like, what would I take if my place was burning? What would be the few items I would take if I just could grab like 2 things or something? I think it'd probably be my hair. I do like my hair. And what else? Probably this microphone. Just kidding, I'm returning it. No, I don't know. I'd have to think about that more. You know, there's so many things that are replaceable, and then there are some things that are not replaceable. And so, yeah, I would be curious to know what people took out of their homes in such a terrible circumstance. There was one politician there. I don't know if it was the mayor, I think, the mayor of LA, and she was like in another country at the time and just was not answering media questions properly. And then, yeah, the governor, Newsom, nah. The way he answered questions. There was one thing in particular that was very funny, and it was ABC News. David Muir, I think is his name. He was one of the moderators for the Trump and Kamala Harris debate, and he was very frustrating. I think he's a good-looking man, but I think he's as good-looking as he thinks he is good-looking. He was wearing like this weird fire jacket that was probably completely unnecessary, and you could see in the video of his coverage, he's turning to the side, and you could see he has push pins tightening the jacket to show his sculpted body more. You know, there's a time and a place, dude.
Where there's normally shopping, a place to eat. Tonight, as you can see here behind me, it's been completely wiped away. There are still flames burning from multiple buildings here and smoke rising from the ash. Again, this is where the community would be at a time of day like this, now gone in a matter of hours.
I don't think anybody really cares how sculpted you are whenever people's homes are burning. Thousands upon thousands of people had to evacuate their homes, but at least your body looks sculpted. Thank God, that saved everything. You good man. You good man. But yeah, that shows you the vanity in the news business. I can't even imagine. I truly feel for the people that have to do his makeup. They're like, he's probably like, more lip liner, more eyeliner, more blush, please. Pluck my eyebrows a little bit better, please. I'm David Muir. My hair is perfect. I'm a beautiful man. He's attractive, I'll say it. David, if you got my phone number, give me a call. Give me a call. My phone number is blip, 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 blip. Ooh, okay, so once again, I'm reading the Bible through in a year. I just finished this past year. I am not saying that I absorb every last word of the Bible, but this has been the best way for me to be consistent in my Bible reading. There was many years ago where I just couldn't, like maybe once a week I'd read the Bible. You need it every day. You really, really freaking do. And so, but this year I felt stirred to try the Amplified Bible. And obviously Amplified, they add kind of context to it. So they'll have in parentheses just like almost like definitions of words, or just further context essentially. But it really lengthens that Bible. So there's more to read technically. But I am telling you, I am really, really enjoying that version. of the Bible. And I'm so, so glad that I really think it was God that told me to do it, because I don't know where that idea came from. And it's been great. It's been great so far. There was one verse in particular that I did want to share, if that's okay. Is that okay? It's not? Okay, I won't then. I just won't share it. Psych! You're not in charge of me anymore. Yeah, guess what? I'm not beholden to money. But if you have any sour candy, that probably will tempt me. Okay, it's Proverbs 3, verse 30. Do not quarrel with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. I have obviously read that verse many a time, and I didn't truly read it. I didn't truly understand it. And it's so simple, but I am telling you, I did not understand it. And it makes so much more sense, because I've always kind of wondered that. Like, say for example, what's a good one? Okay, yeah, you have a friend, and there's one person that is very mean to this friend, but they haven't done anything to you. Well, how should you treat that person? Your friend told you everything that this person did to them that was mean. Should you be nice to this person, or should you be mean to this person? And we have the answer here. Do not quarrel with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. He's done you no harm. He did them some harm, but he didn't do you any harm. So don't quarrel with him. I think it's very wise. And Proverbs are known for being words of wisdom. Get wisdom, get understanding. It says that over and over and over again. And so I think that it's very practical advice, obviously from the Word of God. And it's something that I think I need to do, because there has been a recent circumstance in my life where it's like I didn't know exactly which road to take. And now I know. They didn't do anything to me. I'm not going to do anything to them. And then also, on the other hand, if you were that friend that felt slighted by somebody, and then your supposed enemy is now talking to your friend, and your friend seems happy talking to them, don't be upset with them. We need to be bigger and better than that. Bigger, fatter. We need to be okay with compartmentalizing any issues we may have. We don't need to include others into our friction, others into our conflicts. That's not fair. You can't drag people down into the mud with you. That's not cool. So, yeah, I thought it was very powerful. And yeah, it just shows me once again, like, God has the answers for us. It's in the Word, and He will also reveal it to us. He will speak to us. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's just the truth. And also, Jesus loves you so much, whether you think you deserve it or not. That's the whole point. We don't deserve it. And He's paid the ultimate price for us. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for Him. And I am so grateful for you guys and how wonderful and kind you guys are. Yeah, it's really great being back on the mic, especially a scam mic. Hopefully this does not hurt your ears too badly. If you're at this point, obviously you accepted it and you were okay with it. This is probably the only time you're going to hear from this microphone. So please bear with me. Don't be a bear, but bear with me. Guys, that's all I have to share for today. I appreciate you listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Goodbye.